Hi all, welcome back to the blending mode class at Hummy's World. If you're just arriving here by accident, please visit www.hummysworld.com and look for the blending mode class guide to start from the beginning. We are learning about lighting effects and blending modes and a few tricks in this lesson. And here is my layout that I did, and I'm going to deconstruct it and reconstruct it, showing you some tips. So here is my photo of a lake, and I liked that it had some depth to it because I thought, well, I can play with lighting effects in the background. Here is one of the lighting effects. You can see how I brought the attention to that area in the back, and I thought that was really cool. But for the purpose of this, I couldn't apply it very well unless I just put some text, if I had a short line maybe to put right under here that we're bringing attention to. But I loved how it changed and made that light back there. If there was a little person standing there, that would be perfect because it would change the focal point from this stuff in the front to the back. I'll show you how I did that. We are in the full version of Photoshop. It works a little bit different in Photoshop Elements, but I already have a tutorial on that I can point you to. And you can learn a lot from that one, whether in the full version of Photoshop or not. So I just duplicated the layer, went to Filter, Render, and Lighting Effects. And so this is the lighting effect that I applied. It's a spotlight. You can choose between point, spot, infinite. I'm not going to do a whole tutorial on the lighting effects, but I'm just showing you what I did and on this one, and the settings that I have. Texture green is down there. I didn't change too much except for grabbing these and moving it so it put a spotlight on this back area. I increased it. I just played with it until it was just on this area, and I clicked OK, and you can see that looks pretty yucky. However, like this one shows, when you change it to the screen blending mode, it puts that kind of spotlight in the background. But I wanted a place to put my text. I love the way it brings out, just to mention, look, before and after. I love the way it brings out the reflections in the water. I really do like this. I could continue playing it with it just to make an image as a whole, but it didn't work well with me having to put text. So here is the layer I ended up using, and this kind of put a haze on it and looked like it was kind of hazy in the background before and after. And in order to do this, I made a 50% grayscale background. To get a 50%, just put in the H and the S in the color picture 00 and in the B 50. And or I guess you could put 128, 128, 128, or 80, 80, 80. But I can always remember the first one best. And you'll notice, if you'll remember from our blending mode lessons, if you change it to hard light, see it makes no change at all to the photo. Because there are other ones, but if you'll go back and remember, some of them at 50% make no change at all. This is not the only one, but this is the blending mode that I'm going to share with you to use. So I'm going to go to Filter, Render, and this time Lens Flare. Uh, and this is the lens flare I came up with right here. I went to the 105 millimeter prime, and I just, see, I knew I wanted it a haze in the background. I mean, look, I could have put the haze over here. You can move it around uh, wherever you want, and you can change. I mean, if I just wanted a spot of light, I could, but I was going after a little haze, so I upped it. So you could really make it fill half the page if you want, and you can move it around to wherever you want. Um, you can choose one of these others if you want, but see, they have the trailing effects. So this is the one that I decided to use, and I clicked OK, and it put that big bright spot on there. But I'm going to delete this, because if you go back and look, I've lowered the opacity all the way down to 48%. Here's what it looks like, and all the way down at 48%, it puts this nice haze in the background, before and after. So there's my text I created, and the text has a soft light blending mode. And then here's the texture you're going to get with this lesson. It's really rather yummy. I love that word. Look at that. And you can use any blending mode with it. We're not restricting you at all. I just really like this. You know what made those speckles in there? I figured out what's great at making those nice speckles. Finally, after all that time I spent playing, the speckles are pepper. We put a little glue and a little bit of pepper on there, and this texture comes from the original texture I started with on the piece of board. Anyway, I changed that to overlay. I think, no, soft light, I believe. There we go. And so here's without it and with it. And so it just kind of gave, it's even at 100%, just kind of gave more of that hazy, soft feel to it. You zoom in and you can see out here some of that texture showing through. But now you can use any blending mode that, as I said. And then, you know, I'm a big fan of edges. So I got this paper that we gave out in the last lesson, number 27, and I put it on, and I wanted to make sure that the center was not visible. So I used a layer mask and just a regular brush, and you can see what I did with the brush, creating kind of that effect so it's only revealed on the outer edges. And that's the before and the after. And that was it. So let's look at it with and without this lighting effect layer. There it is without it, and there it is with it. And so you can see it created a nice haze over the photo, but it kept it less effective here in the foreground and more effective back there to kind of tone that down to give me a good place to put my text. So here we go, before and after. And your lesson is to use either the I gotta go get me a active layer, either the render lens flare or the lighting effects with blending modes to get an effect on your photo. See, here's this one, giving it bright, this one, but you have to make it work for your particular image that you're using. And I, as always, am anxious to see what you do.